Okay. Lindsay, kindly lead us in prayer.
Oh Lord Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gift of life. We pray that you guide and protect us through this lesson. We pray that we pray for your guidance through this lesson. We pray that you guide us and put everything in our heads, the things that the teacher says. In Jesus' name we have prayed, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for the opening prayer. Last week, we revised the paper, and I think we took note of all the issues that we had to consider in that paper. And this week, we are going to look at something not new, but something we've not looked at since we've started our virtual lessons. We are going to look at comprehension. Comprehension is a very important part of the English language paper. It takes actually 3/4 of the content in our English paper too. Summaries, comprehension, and the next two passages in that need to pay attention to comprehension as a very important aspect of English language. So today we're going to look at comprehension, and we are going to look at what comprehension is, what we already know, by the way. Comprehension is the ability to understand. So when we are handling comprehension, we just don't read to enjoy, we read to comprehend, to understand, to really put in context what the writer has written, what it is all about, and understand why, what, and the lessons we get from that particular kind of passage. So comprehension calls not only for reading, but we read to understand, and of course answer the questions. So comprehension is the ability to understand. It is the ability to process a text. You read and process it. You ask the WH questions so that you can really understand why this person picked up a pen to write. And then we must process the text, understand its meaning, and integrate with what the reader already knows. Of course, writing is about life. There is nothing that is written and it has not happened in this world, because we write about the things we see, the things we experience, the things we have heard about. So that is why we have to process it and really link it to what we know and what we've heard and what we have really read about. So another very keen issue about comprehension is putting everything in context. Ladies, when we are reading, we must put the content presented by this kind of writer into context. How does he see things? How has he used the words to communicate a given aspect? So that is what we call putting the text in context, putting the passage in context. Very, very important. All the questions will be answered depending on the context in which the words have been used. We shall later look at that because it is a very important aspect in comprehension. Next is that you'll be expected to read a text and required to write, to have written questions, to respond to written questions, sorry. So you'll be expected to read a text and respond to you're supposed to give your written responses or written answers. So we don't not only read to enjoy, to understand, but to also pass, understand, and give the right answers expected by the person who has really given you the questions. So comprehension goes beyond the mere reading. We read, place everything in context, look at our questions, and give the appropriate answers. It is very important. I'll ask Shona to give us the next slide. Thank you. So how to improve comprehension? How do we improve comprehension? We improve comprehension by reading and reading and reading. There are as many words in this world as there are names and people and things. But how do we learn all these words and put them in context? Is by reading and reading. We read the newspapers, we find new words, we learn them. We read the novels, we find new words and we learn them. We read the passages, we read and read. The more we read, the better we are off as students of the language, as writers of the language, and as people who are supposed to answer in a particular language. So ladies, please read, read and read. We are what we read. So when we come across these very new words and they're used according to a particular context, we get them. They become part of our vocabulary and we can play around with them very well. And when they turn up in a paper, we know them and we can use them and we can comprehend them and get all the marks we need to get at the end of the day. So reading frequently will help you learn new words and interpret different meanings, because you've really come across very many words. You've come across a given word and it can be used in different contexts and you can interpret it. So it is very, very important to read and read and read. The more exposed you are, the better off you are as a student of language, sorry. So please make links to the text. If you find a new word, you make links to how it has been used. Make links to the subject of a particular passage. What are they talking about? Is it fashion? Is it food? Is it adolescents? What is it? Please make links, because everything that is written has happened and you have a clue about it. There is nothing that has been written that is out of this world. They always write about life. So please make links. It's very, very important. And yes, you can try to really guess what will happen at the end of the day. You know, it is helping you to put everything in context. What do you think happened before? What is happening? What will happen? What is in the mind of the person writing and the people who are participating in the passage? Very, very important for you to comprehend, to understand the passage. So please keep track of the main ideas. You know, when we are writing, there is something at the back of our mind. There is something we are writing about. What is the subject that is being written about? Is it a beautiful woman? Is it about a hard worker, a very hardworking leader? You know, what is it? Are they trying to persuade you? Are they trying to inform you? So that is very, very important. What is the main idea? What is the writer writing about? Because all the questions are going to rotate around exactly that. So at the back of your mind, please, as you read to comprehend, as you read these passages in the paper, please, at the back of your mind, ask yourself, what is the main idea? Because some of the passages will require you to answer what the passage is all about. So that is very, very important. So later we shall summarize the content in one statement or group of statements. Yep, that is generally comprehension, people. We are going to look at summary in the near future, and you'll be told to summarize. And summary writing is still comprehension. You'll be given passages where you write your free responses. You asked a question and you're supposed to give your answers. And at the times, the answers are going to be provided and there'll be multiple choice questions for you. So you choose the right or the most correct answer. So please, comprehension is very, very interesting, but it is very challenging. You must read, understand, and think. Otherwise, we can get it all wrong. So as we read to comprehend, we are keen. We read again so that we can understand, and we read the last time to answer the question. It's quite an interesting part of the English language paper. So please keep all those key notes about comprehension at the back of your mind as you handle comprehension passages. Comprehension passages are so varied. They're as varied as life is. It has all aspects, you know, the economics, the romantic, the life about work, you know, the politics. So passages can fall in any sphere of life. So that is comprehension. We can move to the next slide, please. And today we are going to look at a comprehension passage. And as we read it, please think about those key aspects we've talked about. You read, put everything in context, try to understand what the writer is writing about. Then you can have the right answers to the questions at the end of the day. There'll always be vocabulary, which we're supposed to put in context because words make meaning in context as they have been used by the writer or even the speaker. So we read to comprehend. We read to understand because at the end of the day, we have to answer questions. It's very, very important. Kindly give us the next slide, please. Okay, thank you. We are going to read the passage below. Quite a simple passage. We are going to look at them and we shall try to put it in context and answer the questions that follow. Thank you. Can I please have readers around 3 or 4 people who are going to read out loud for us so that we can understand this passage and put it in context?
Teacher, me.
Who is this? Okay, we have Laura, Angel, Rebecca, and Layla. Laura, Angel, Rebecca, and Layla in that order. Thank you. So we shall begin with Angel. Okay.
So do I read the whole passage?
Kindly. You want to read
Or
the
no,
whole
I'm
passage?
asking, or part of it.
No. Two paragraphs. If it is a long one, you read one, so that all of us can read. We can take the turns between the 4, not even between, among the 4. Thank you.
Ihoma's smells were disarming. Perhaps the narrow gap in the upper row of her white regular teeth did the trick. At that time, a gap in the teeth was fashionable. Any girl who was not favored with one employed the services of carvers who could create them.
Are we losing her? Can you hear her?
No. Teacher, I read. You told me to read part of it and other people read.
No, please read the entire paragraph, please.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you.
Ihoma's smells were disarming. Perhaps the narrow gap in the upper row of her white regular teeth did the trick. At that time, a gap in the teeth was fashionable. Any girl who was not favored with one employed the services of carvers who could create them. Of course, accidents occurred now and then. A blood clot could other carvers chisel graze the tongue, but the risk was worth it. Ihoma's gap was natural and other women envied her, they said as she rose to go. It is good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Can we have another reader?
Me. Good. It is good, Ihoma replied. I shall do the same. As Nenda walked away, Ihoma watched her unconsciously. Nenda's behind was not nearly as full as hers, even when she had habits on, she thought. how lucky she was to possess these physical gifts. She wondered what it was like to be ugly.
Thank you. Can we have the next reader? Kindly give us the next slide, please. The next reader, please.
Moana, get me a mirror and let me see how bad my hair is. In truth, she wanted to gaze at herself. That she was beautiful, she had no doubt. But that did not make her arrogant. She was sympathetic, gentle, and reserved. It was her husband's boast that in their 6 years of marriage, she had never had any serious quarrel with another woman. She was not good at invectives, and other women talked much faster than she did. The fact that she would be outdone in a verbal exchange, perhaps partly restrained from coming into open verbal conflict with her neighbors, gradually she acquired the capacity to bear a neighbor's stinging remarks without a repartee. In this way, her prestige among the women folk grew until even the most garrulous among them was reluctant to be unpleasant to her. She found herself settling quarrels and offering advice to older women.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we have another reader, please? Leila, have you taken your turn?
Yes, teacher.
Who hasn't? Is it Rebecca?
I have taken my turn.
Okay, I think we should have Shona now. I wonder who hadn't. Okay. Can we have Shona, please?
Please go home, she would say to one of the pair of quarreling women. The veins in your neck are bulging out with much talking. Are you crazy? And to the other, why? Your baby must be crying at home. Stop talking and go and feed her. Ihuoma stopped admiring herself in the mirror. She came out of the reception hall into the caressing warmth of the setting sun. She could hear the sound of Oduma, a dance employing a xylophone, coming from Omigwe, the next village. The time to get to it was scarcely enough for a meal. She would hear so she could hear the individual notes of the Oduma and recognize the particular tune being played. It was the tune of a song comprised of beautiful American
Audrey, please. A
Audrey,
moment.
come please mute.
The woman had paid the full penalty, a goat and 20 manillas. But Omigwe youths
Christabel also mute.
seriously perpetuated the incident in a song.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, our readers. When we're handling comprehension, we have the first reading, then we must read again to understand. First to read to just really acclimatize ourselves, to really make ourselves get to know what the passage is about. Just the first reading is that. Then the second reading, we read to understand and put in context what this particular passage is all about. We read slowly, we read every word, we read putting words in context, especially the vocabulary, because we shall be required to answer the vocabulary. So we would be having a silent reading if we were in class, but now since we are not, we are going to get another, is not even a pair, we are going to get other people to help us read the second time so that we can answer the questions very well. We're going to get 4 people again. So we can have Noreen, Jovium, Dav, and Cynthia in that particular order. Thank you. We can start with the first person to read slowly so that the next time we are going to be answering questions and we shall have the answers.
Ihuma's smiles were disarming. Perhaps the narrow gap in the apparel of her white regular teeth. At that time, a gap in the teeth was fashionable. Any girl who was not favored with one employed the services of carvers who could create them. Of course, accidents occurred now and then. A blood coat could blacken a tooth or the carver's chisel raise the tongue, but the risk was worth it. Ihuma's gap was natural and other women envied her. Am I supposed to stop there or I go forward?
Yeah, go forward for the next one, only the next paragraph.
Okay. Let me go and prepare the evening meal, Nenda said as she rose to go. It is good,
Thank you.
Ihuma replied. Okay.
We can have the next reader.
It is good, Ihuma replied. I shall do the same. As Nenda walked away, Ihuma watched her unconsciously. Nenda's behind was not nearly as full as hers. Even when she had her beads on, she thought how lucky she was to possess this physical gift. She wondered what it was like to be ugly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The next reader.
Nuona, get me a mirror and let me see how bad my hair is. In truth, she wanted to gaze at herself. That she was beautiful, she had no doubt. But that did not make her arrogant. She was sympathetic, gentle, and reserved. It was her husband's boast that in their 6 years of marriage, she had never had any serious quarrel with another woman. She was not good at invectives, and other women talked much faster than she did. The fact that she would be outdone in verbal exchange perhaps partly restrained her from coming into open verbal conflict with her neighbors. Gradually, she acquired the capacity to bear a neighbor's stinging remarks without a repartee. In this way, her prestige among the women folk grew until the most garrulous among them was reluctant to be unpleasant to her. She found herself settling quarrels and offering advice to other women.
Thank you so much.
Should I continue?
Fine. One more paragraph, then you have the last one.
Please go home. Should I continue the next person?
Kindly read the next one, then the next person takes over.
Okay. Please go home, she would say to one of the pair of quarreling women. The veins in your neck are bulging out with much talking. Are you crazy? And the other, why, your baby must be crying at home. Stop talking and go feed her.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Can you have the last one, please?
Ihuma's
stopped admiring herself in the mirror. She came out of the reception hall into the caressing warmth of the setting sun. She could hear the sound of Oduma, a dance employing a xylophone, coming from Omigwe, the next village. The time to get to it was scarcely enough for a meal. So she could hear the individual notes of the Oduma, and she recognized the particular tune being played. It was the tune to a song recently composed to ridicule a married woman who had misbehaved. The woman had paid the full penalty, a goat and 20 manillas, but Omigwe youths pitilessly perpetuated the incident into a song.
Thank you so much. Perpetuated the incident in a song. Thanks so much, our readers. Thank you. So we have had the first reading and the second reading, and we're putting this passage in context. It is about us and what we think about other people. Maybe they're not so well more endowed than others, than us. Maybe we think we are better. Maybe we are indeed. It is about how we view the other people, how we behave, and what people think about us, and how society reacts to whatever happens. So all passages we have an aspect of life that is very close to us. We know that humans in our society, we know that humans in senior too, those very beautiful ones. We know the ones who have the gap. And I wonder whether it is now still fashionable to have a gap anyway. I wonder, I don't know what you think, people.
No.
So, it depends on where you come from. So some of us think a gap is beauty. So when
Joe, we can't hear you. Joe, we can't hear you.
I can't hear you. We can't hear.
So,
I can't hear anything.
We can't hear you anymore.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher, but
Yes,
Oh, sorry
teacher.
about that. It was a network issue. It was a network issue. We pray it doesn't really happen again. Sorry. So let us go to our vocabulary. Vocabulary will always be there in our comprehension. It is very important to understand the word and especially how it has been used in the particular context. So kindly share the questions, please, so that we can look at the vocabulary, put it in context, and answer it.
teacher, we can't hear what you're saying.
Teacher, we can't hear.
Oh, yes, Shona. Thank you for the work. We can pick, can we have some people to pick a word and we try to explain it by show of hands? Let's have people to pick words and they explain it as we wait for teacher Angela to join us.
What is the meaning of the word disarming as used in the passage?
Should I help you pick or? Is teacher still here?
No.
Nope.
Miss is having connectivity issues.
She's there, but she's muted.
She's not there.
So we answer the question, we don't answer. And they're like other teachers.
We continue or we wait?
Let us continue.
We should continue.
Okay.
I should pick people and they answer questions.
Well, we know, right?
Okay.
Do that.
If the people's hands are up, Shana, choose the people whose hands are up and they answer as the teacher comes.
Okay. So, okay, for A, disarming, divine blessing. Anyone giving the answer for disarming?
I can try to give the answer.
Oh, disarming.
But we want to know if it's
No, okay.
correct.
I can try and give the answer for disarming. So,
that's how
according to the dictionary, disarming means having the effect of allaying suspicion or hostility through charm.
Explain.
Shona, can you first take us back to the passage?
I think
Shona, please may you first. Yeah. Ihoma's smiles were disarming. So according to the definition given in the dictionary and the one that's in the passage, I think it's true. Like her smile was charming. There are people who have nice smells, so the smells are charming and welcoming or suspicious. You see someone smile at you and their smell brings question. But I think her smells were beautiful. Her smile was beautiful or charming. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else give an explanation for that?
Okay, for me, I think if a disarming smile means like a smile may be less angry or suspicious or less hostile, like it was charming or irresistible.
Okay, thank you. Then the next one, gaze. The meaning of gaze. The divine.
To gaze means to look at someone intently or to look at someone for a while.
Anyone have a different answer?
Can I answer? Can I answer?
Yes.
My thing to gaze is to look at someone in admiration.
So anyone with a dictionary nearby who can give us the meaning for gaze?
Me.
Look at someone for a long time.
It says, look steadily and intently, especially in admiration, surprise, or thought.
Okay, thank you. Then invective.
Me. Excuse me, Shona, can I talk?
Yes.
Invectives, according to the dictionary, it means insulting, abusive, or highly critical language. Like in the passage, I think they were trying to insult. First, take back to the passage, please.
Yeah.
Yes, where I say she was not good at invectives. Like she was never that kind of person who insults, abuses, or uses a criticizing language towards others. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone with a different answer? So is that okay? Okay, then let's go to repartee. Meaning of repartee.
Excuse me, Shona.
Yes.
I didn't get the meaning of invectives.
Okay, Denise can repeat it for you.
Okay, invectives means insulting, abusive, or highly critical language. And in the passage, they say she was not good at invectives, meaning like she was not that kind of person who insults others abuses them or criticizes them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, then Ripati.
Party, according to the dictionary, it says conversation or speech characterized by quick, witty comments or replies. And similar words are banter.
We can't hear you.
Please repeat, Rebecca.
Repartee, according to the dictionary, means conversation or speech characterized by quick, witty comments or replies, and synonyms are banter.
Okay, thank you. Then, has anyone not understood before we go?
Yes. I've not understood.
Which one? Ripati.
Hannah, can you put the answers in the slide you're showing?
Okay, let me try to annotate. Then, okay. So, Ripati. What happened to me? Miss, is Miss still here?
Thank you, Teacher Shona.
I don't know if the
Could you make it a bit darker?
Excuse me, Shona. Is dowsing?
We have 1 minute left.
Oh my gosh. Okay, as I write this one, the meaning of garrulous.
I think to be guidance means to be very
engaging in a lot of talk, especially about trivial matters.
Garrulous? I don't know, garrulous.
Garrulous
Pointless.
engaging in talk
Very
that are trivial.
pointlessly or annoyingly talkative.
Pointlessly or annoyingly talkative. talking too much.
Caressing.
According to the
Loving.
dictionary, caressing is stroking gently or lovingly.
Then ridicule.
To mock someone.
Make fun of somebody.
To subject someone to dismissive language.
Then number 2 from the passage. What shows that a gap in the teeth was a very treasured thing?
It's already done.
Should I go back to the passage?
No, it's already done.
Yes, please. Okay. So can I clear this?
Yes.
Yes.
People, class is done. It's time for
I know.
Shona.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Teacher Shona.
Thank you, teacher.
Shona is a nice
Wow.
Nice lunch, guys. A nice time.
Not yet lunch.
Not yet lunchtime.
Some of us are having lunch.
Bye. Shona, do you dream of becoming a teacher?
Bye, Rachel.
Bye, Daphne.
Bye, Cherub. Bye, Kelly. Bye, Audrey.
Bye.
Kevin.
Ella. Bye, Prit. Bye, Kara.
Bye, Daniela.
Bye, Rachel.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Shona Bubu. Bye, Shauna.
Bye.
Bye, Shona.
I'm teacher.
Bye, teacher Shauna.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye, Nyadoy. Ayo, how you doing, Shoal?
Bye.
Fun? Bye-bye.
Kelly, what's with the heart?
Every showing off, man. Kelly, you're showing off.
Caleb, guys. Bye-bye. See you in camp.
Nara. Bye, boy.
Shona, end the meeting.
What?
End the meeting.
Okay.
Shona is the host.
She's a co-host. She can still end it.
Can I? I can't see well.
It's only the host that can end it.
Let me see. Or, I guess kick people out. Oh, wait, let me see.
Yeah, I know you put people out. Shona, very dangerous.
Hey.
Not easy.
Mixing, leave. This is lock meeting.
Greetings from
who?
someone. A person.
Kelly, what?
Rachel Chichi.
Church Kuluma.
Teshirio. Nothing. Where's my cake? Rachel, where's my
cake? It's in my stomach.
I wait. Even an emoji. Never nange. Dale. Dale.
Kelly.
Ella, that's what is Kunduma ring. Now,
Okay,
Shona,
there.
what's with that
I've
emoji?
sent you.
It's just
Have you eaten it?
Yes, let me enter a screen and eaten. I've eaten. Oh my God, that's so nice.
What about us?
No.
Wow,
Shona, I
girl,
also
Shona, stop
send you.
dying on my cake. Sure. Oh my God, don't.
Shona, let
No,
me send you.
don't send her.
Shona,
No. Yeah, I've eaten it. I've eaten it. I've eaten it. Shona, I've eaten it. You're not going to find it there. Yeah.
If you eat it, you choke.
I touch.
Have you had your joke?
Just cast. I'm choking.
Shona just choked.
Nice sweet.
Mama.